I'm Anne Marie, and you are here at Tarot Joy. Today is that wonderful day where we all jump forward in time. And I know for myself, I'm very sleepy. I tried to tell myself, go to sleep, go to sleep. But every time I did, I could not. So today, I hope that you're as a little more wide awake than I am. Either way, I'm going to offer you a great coffee and a reading today. In fact, a lot of times when people call me for a reading, I'll say, would you like an afternoon reading or would you like morning coffee and a reading? And it's just to me, coffee and tarot go perfectly together. So that was what was today's marketing. And I hope that uh, if you come by today, that you will find that you have some clarity in your life, some ability to come to me and offer you a chance to be able to look at a multitude of subjects. One of the things I wanted to speak on today was, why should you go to a reader who does not ask you for their astrology sign or all kinds of reading? I love astrologers. But if you're going for a tarot reading, do understand that, especially if you're going to some of these 1-800 lines, that giving your astrology sign is also a way for people to typecast you. A professional astrologer goes into the mathematics of a wonderful reading for you. But a tarot reader that is giving you a reading and asking you for a astrology sign or things like that, or your date of birth, they're already in their head starting to typecast. All right, she's got these and these qualities. She's born on this and this time of year. And if they're not an astrologer working out your natal scope, to me, the use of giving a birth sign is not, it's not ethical. It's not, well, I'm not saying it's not ethical. It just seems to show that somebody is not being honest with you. If you can just give your name and as much limited information as you can, you will find that at least with me, the less information that you give me, the more on target your reading will be. Because if you're giving me a multitude of opinions and reflections on how you feel about someone or a job or whatever, it doesn't give me that chance to be able to look at a pure slate, clean the slate, and just look and see what it is that I pick up about your job, your romance. I think that with Easter coming, we also need to think that this may be the month of transformation. Whether you are Christian or Muslim or Jewish, it's all about transformation, making a great new life story for ourselves, and being able to rejuvenate and reboot our energy with a reading. And I can give you an honest prediction of what I see. I'm not a gypsy fortune teller. I don't look at forecasts of the future in a long-term process other than 12 months. And that's the way that I look at it. The number to call in today for a reading is 602 666 6027. That's 602 666 6027. And you will find that you are also able to in-quick him as well. So I'm going to look over here. I had a list of questions that may be things that you want to think about asking your reader or me when getting a reading. And if I look over here, just a minute, I'm going to like some of the questions that you may want to ask are not only what will my love life be like in 2019, but also what's blocking me from having a successful life in my love life. You may want to ask, what do I need to know about my career? What do I most need to know about a situation with my sister, my brother, my husband, my friend, my mother? Another question you may want to ask is, how can I move my career forward? These are all things that you can ask on tarot that are not congruent with a spiritual medium reading. Spiritual medium readings are more about asking about what I call the unproven. If your aunt or your mother or your father are talking to you, we have no proof of that. We can ask for details, and maybe those details will come out in your reading, like a ring someone gave you or something like that. But remember, when you get a tarot reading, you're looking at the more questions in the now. More on that. How can I move my love life forward? What's trying to come forth in my life that I'm not paying attention to? What's the shortest and the strongest foundation to build upon in my life? In other words, if you have gifts and talents, which I could read on for you, being able to know what the strongest foundation for you to build 2019 on, which will come through in your reading, would also give you some constructive actions to go on. How about, what should I do about the situation with my work? Oh my gosh, how many of us have that pesky little coworker or that boss that won't give us a chance? Maybe we can look in a reading and look for that information that could help you to get a promotion, to help you to deal with a nasty coworker. How about, how can I restore my hope for the future? What would that mean? Like, let's say if you came for a reading and you're just at the point where you're afraid to be happy because you feel like you've had so many letdowns, and you feel as if at this point in your life you want to be happy, but at the same time, if you keep following the patterns of the past, you're afraid that the same old bull crap is going to happen. So in that case, how can I restore my hope for the future? Would give you a reading on what can help you along to find that hope. Maybe we want to do a reading on what blessings come forth in my reading. I would shuffle the cards. I would look at 4 or 5 of your strongest blessings that you had from birth that will be able to give you constructive talents that you possess, that you should just need to reboot and get going again on? How about how can I know that there is meaning in my life? What would that mean? If you were to ask a question like, how can I know there is meaning in my life? Let's decide first in your reading what is meaningful to you. Maybe at this point, what's meaningful to you is passé. Maybe what's meaningful to you now was what was meaningful to you when you were younger. But now that you're older and wiser, maybe a reading would bring forth the maturity of the meaning in your life so you can read on it and get to know it. Shake hands with your maturity. What are you ignoring in your life is a question that we can ask. What is it that keeps, I always say our guides and our angels are always sending symbols and messages to us. Maybe it's through numbers that keep popping in our head, or maybe it's got to do with symbols that we find, or maybe it has to do with someone from your past that you hadn't thought, that you were thinking of, and then boom, they're there. So what are you ignoring could be, what is it that was working for you that because the chips were falling, you lost track of what was working for you? Sometimes that happens. What am I not seeing would be another question that would be kind of relevant to what am I ignoring. But what am I not seeing would be perhaps that person that loves you intensely, but you're looking right over their head. Maybe it's got to do with what is a gift or a job promotion or something, a job that's right there, but you're looking right over it because you have your eyes on something else that maybe isn't going to come right now. Maybe it's that one place of work, that one job that would love for you, love to have someone like you. And yet, because you've become blindsided by your goals, you aren't seeing what's in front of you. How about what's holding me back? Sometimes what holds us back can be a childhood memory, a childhood experience, a string of bad relationships, or settling for less. When you get a reading and ask that question, we would look at that specifically. What is holding you back? How about what can I learn from the past? That's a good one. And you know, sometimes we begin to be so consumed with trying to change our lives so that nothing gets boring or stagnant that we forget to learn from the mistakes or the patterns that we have made. And so for that situation, a reading would tell you what it is specifically that comes through. And remember, all of this you're starting out with giving me nothing but your first name. You're not piling a bunch of personal information on me. This is all what comes through in your reading. How about what is the future trying to tell you? That may be a little harder for me to look at. I'm not sure I could exactly decipher that, because it's like putting the horse before the cart. It's like saying, where will the dominoes fall before you're watching the dominoes fall? So I think that one I would not read on. What am I seeing in my life that's really not true? Is a question that could be asked. Because boy, oh boy. You know, they say every single one of us has a mirror face. That when we all go inside a department store or go inside a Walmart store or at your favorite clothing store, especially with friends, and watch their faces change when they look in the mirror. I'm guilty of it too. We know the structure of our faces so well that we can almost change them for selfies, accentuate a feature, pucker up our lips to be really sensuous, or look down to make our eyes more tilted. You know, we can do these things. So life is the same way. And I think that sometimes, just like that mirror face that people put on, we don't see the things that need to be changed in our lives because we've learned how to go in little denials and boost our ego just the right way to prevent ourselves from taking an accurate picture of who and what we really are. How about what cycles are impacting me? Well, if you're a woman, we have many cycles, but also if you pay attention, I've talked to people that find that they go into cycles where they're happy with their job for 3 months at a time, and then the next 3 they go into hypersensitivity, and they're convinced everybody's against them, and then they rise out of that and they go back into doing really well in their career. I think there are cycles in every part of our personality, and we just need to pay attention sometimes to those cycles and know that that's just something that we do, because it may be the moon, it may be anything that kind of causes us to go up and down. They say even men have a menstruation. And a menstruation is that even though they talk about a woman's hormones, at the same time, menstruation can be a cycle of every 3 weeks, 3 months going into Mr. Grumpy or Mr. Negative or whatever. And so don't let them kid you. They go into the same thing. Okay, we have a YouTube chat, and this reading is from Champagne. And Champagne would love a reading, if possible, about their spiritual path. Well, this is a fun one for me because I would not only like to look at Champagne, your gifts and your blessings, to accentuate your year of 2019, but I'd like to do a life path reading for you with specific Native American cards that I have. So Champagne, here is your reading. And since you can't say your name, I'm going to say it. Champagne, I always ask a name 3 times, so I'm going to say it 3 times. Champagne. Champagne. Here are seen your gifts and your blessings. The first blessing seen is courage. It says your fear of rejection does not stop you from bravely going forward in your life. The second blessing that I see is your flexibility. Flexibility can mean that you adapt to change easily, when it comes to pursuing your ambitions. The third blessing I see is you're very ambitious. And because you're ambitious, you don't procrastinate or waste time being negative. Your fourth blessing is you walk your talk. Every day you try to practice your ability to reach your desired goals, whether they're financial or whether they're creative. And the last blessing I see is that for the most part, Champagne, you're pretty relaxed. It says you choose to relax and not to fill your mind with worry, as that just creates more stress for you. So between your gifts and your blessings of your courageous self, your flexibility, your ambitious nature to go after your goals, your ability to walk your talk, and do all of this in a fairly relaxed way, pay attention that those are the vehicle for you to gain more spiritual happiness in 2019. Now, I love this deck. This is called the Shaman deck, the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And I just love it. When I first had it, I thought, boy, oh boy, this is just too heavy. But then the more that I started to read for my clients, I would do a reading with them. And then after that reading, I would say, do you mind if I look at where your life path is headed in 2019? And so when I do that, it's remarkable how close it comes. So I'm going to do the same thing. It would be preferable if I could hear your voice, Champagne, but I will be happy to be able to give you what comes through. And I've got Champagne, Champagne, and Champagne. And here is the symbol that represents your journey in 2019. And what a beautiful card it is. It is the eagle. So if I look at what does the eagle represent on your journey in 2019, this is the only part of your reading I read. It says the essence of the eagle is that it comes from the east, the place of the rising sun, and of new beginnings, Champagne. It soars high in the sky, sees the very smallest of detail with clarity, without losing track of the bigger picture. And it nests in the high mountains. So eagle, when it's in your reading, there are no obstacles, only opportunity for you in 2019. The invitation with the card, the eagle, says, have you become trapped in your daily routine and feel you do not know where to go and what to do next? Have you lost your sense of purpose? The eagle invites you to take a big, deep breath and spread your wings in 2019. When was the last time you opened your wings? Eagle reminds you that your spirit was born to soar in the heavens. As you contemplate the choices for 2019, ask yourself, do I want to live in a chicken coop, sheltered from life, counting the regular feedings, or do I want to soar like an eagle? If your answer is the eagle, then you must accept the invitation and embrace the courage, which your gift of courage distinctly came through, that you will help to choose freedom as part of 2019. The medicine of the eagle. It is time to see through the eyes of the eagle. Let your vision of the whole and its parts become laser-like, and set your priorities around those laser-like focus ideas you have. What did you come to do in this life? Did you climb up a ladder of financial or social success? Was that your purpose? Did you come to become a better person? To heal your heart? And to realize your essential self? What is your divine mission on this earth? No more excuses. Of course, you do not have enough time or money or enough sleep, yet the time is now to fly to your chosen purpose for 2019. If you postpone it, you are only betraying yourself. Look through the eyes of the eagle, Champagne, and consider every obstacle and every opportunity. Where you set your intention in 2019 is where you will end up. So free your spirit and live your highest destiny. Fly. And that's the spiritual reading I see for you, Champagne. Good. Champagne says, how beautiful. This is so accurate and appreciated. Big time. Oh my God, you're awesome. Thank you very much, Champagne. And I hope that that reading truly helped you. It sounds like you have a wonderful, I'm going to say, buffet of choices this year that only you can make happen by not being your own obstacle. So thank you for coming by. All right, we have Chris in the room. Hello, Chris. How are you today?
How you doing, Anne-Marie?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about you?
I ain't talked to you in a while.
No, you have not. And I'm glad to see you. Shall I do Shall I do an angel reading for you?
That's cool.
Okay, that's cool. All right. So looking at, and I'm just gonna, you're here with your voice, so say your first name.
Chris.
Thank you. And then say it one more time.
Chris.
Thank you. And one more time. One more time.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Here's your gifts and your blessings, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your first blessing seen is your flexibility, that you have had to kind of roll with the punches and go with the flow. And so if you have things you want to do this year, you've kind of learned that you have to go with whatever's around you in order to change and be able to do those things. And you have the ability to do that. You're very flexible. Your reading says you're also pretty darn motivated, Chris. If someone you see needs your help, you're not going to be the person that sits on the side of the road and pretends they are not there. You're going to help them. That's because you are a motivated person. You're the person, if somebody falls in the snow or if somebody falls in the rainwater, you're going to pick them up. The next thing that comes through is intuition or great gut instincts. It says you're kind of psychic, Chris, and you notice things. And when you notice those things, you know they're messages from your angels or from God. And you try to do what you feel the messages are trying to tell you. How do you know? Because they're a feeling. You just know. It's intuition. It says for the most part, even though sometimes you get very upset, you're getting better and better, Chris, at calming yourself down. And that's a gift. Because, boy, there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to calm themselves down. And the next thing they know, there's horrible things happening in the world because people don't know how to calm themselves down. You do. And the last thing seen as your gift is that you're very receptive. You have a huge heart and a mind that's able to receive the blessings that are in front of you. So if someone wants to do something nice for you, you're not going to tell them, nope, go away. You're going to let them. And if you see somebody that needs your help, you're going to help them. And if you see that you need to change something in your life so that you can have something better, you will do the best that you can. And because once you decide that you want something, you have the motivation and maybe even stubbornness to get it done. And that's what I see as your blessings and your gifts. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Chris. Love you, Chris. Bye.
Bye, Emery.
All right. Okay, we have, that's back to Champagne. Champagne says she's a Leo sun. So maybe the eagle really was resonating strongly with her. One of the things that we might want to talk about today is there are a lot of people out there that want angels in their lives to help them. But when it comes to helping other people, they're not always so eager to do that. It is my belief that when you want angels to come into your life and help you by the grace of God or whatever, you need to be willing to go out of your way at least once a week, maybe once a day, to do something out of your way for others. Why? Well, one, just like smiling at somebody at Walmart, oftentimes it can be contagious. Someone smiles at you, you get in a better mood, you smile at somebody else, they get in a better mood and they smile, and it goes on. And I won't deny there are days that sometimes you smile and people don't smile back. But that's okay. It's not against you. It's more or less their loss. So, in that same way, when you do something kind for somebody every day, not only is it good karma points, but also it is an ability to kind of like that smile at Walmart, pass it on. Somebody's more likely to say, hey, somebody did something pretty great for me. So, maybe I can call on my cell phone for that person that has a flat tire on the road. Or maybe I can take that little dog off the highway and try to put it in my car and take it to a place that can give it refuge. I was reading, or I guess I saw, excuse me, a woman that was driving a bus, and she noticed there was a little tiny toddler in the medium island in a big highway. And the baby's mother evidently was having a mental breakdown and didn't see the child. How many people passed by going, oh, there's a baby in the road? How many stopped? Or how many people thought about it a mile down the road? Which person are you? I know that for myself, I want to be the person that stops right away, or at least calls the police, or does something that will be able to get help for somebody. All of that is helping others, and I think it counts. So next time that you call for your angels to help you, just remember, you have to do something kind for others to not only earn your own wings, but to earn the help from your angels to you. I think that that's something important. There's a huge, huge, huge thing about angels, and everybody wants to have angel messages, and everybody wants to know who their angel is. But there's so much more to it than knowing who your angel is. It's about being able to earn your angel by your own actions. And that's the way I see that. So I'm going to play a little bit of music here, and then I am going to get back. I think because I'm almost feeling the sense of spring coming, I'm going to play a little Jamaican music because it makes me feel happy. All right, that was just a little pick me up. So I am going to um, look at one of the newest blog postings that I made. This is called The Angel Frequency, Improving Our Life Journey in 2019. We are all vehicles of flesh and blood for our angels. And this is why it's so important not to allow our body, our soul, and mind to become dysfunctional. When we sit idle and let our body become out of shape, it is equivalent to not changing the oil in our car. Beating ourselves up with negative self-criticism is often just a cop-out. The result is anxiety and guilt, which goes straight to the source, again, our angels who take our abuse. Health issues or illness beyond our control are understandable challenges. But consider these tips of the soul and mind for the life journey ahead. Here's how to improve the journey of your body for 2019. 1. Visualize what your exercise and fresh air goal is for yourself in the next 12 months' time. Wear a Fitbit or step counter and make a reasonable goal for your quota of movement for the day. Remember, gyms are great. Walking, cleaning house, yoga, anything that gets you up and moving is also beneficial. 2. Be ambitious. Don't find excuses to stop what you have started. Self-sabotaging your progress, whatever it is, by being negative, is just going to be a red flag for being a quitter. And there's nothing worse that people try to stay away from more than a quitter. Believe with all your heart that you will eventually reach your goals, or lose weight, or eat healthier, and get more fresh air. Do this with the same passion that you encourage others to hang on to what they want. Do it for yourself. Don't fall into the habit of being all talk and no action. Instead of second portions of food, envision yourself and the reward of hitting a simple milestone of success. I'm doing this right now, trying to lose those extra few pounds, and it helps if you have a PayPal account in which you can splurge on yourself when you do find a little loss of weight. Buy yourself something nice with your PayPal account that won't get into your bills. But it comes down more to this. When you beat yourself up, you are also beating up your angels. Even the smallest of tasks can become a heated discussion that can sabotage your goals. But here's some things you might want to consider for yourself this year. Are you in a really crappy relationship? Get out of it. You are not a victim. Don't settle for less at work than you have to. If you allow yourself to become invisible, you will be that way and stay that way. Pursue a class or further a gift or an interest that you have. And when it comes to retiring, retire in grace and continue your greatest passion as the soft warrior. And the soft warrior is what I call hard chargers that suddenly learn that they can be mentors or be able to teach those that are younger to them than them how to do the things that they want to do and not feel competitive. So how does the angel frequency come into this? Jesus and Buddha could heal the wounded, but they never took them home with them. Surround yourself with like-minded people in 2019 who share and believe in your dreams. And when you are fair and honest, you will attract fair and honest people into your life. Let your angels guide you. Don't ignore their message, which comes as intuition, excitement, and sometimes tiredness when the answer is no. The wealth you feel will be amazing. So, that's the way I see it, and I'm sticking to it. I want to thank you all for coming by today. It's been awfully quiet, and I understand that the time change has been difficult. Even Joseph didn't make it today, and probably, if you're not someone that keeps up on that stuff, time is just irrelevant, and a lot of people find that they're way behind for almost a week or maybe even a month as they get used to their schedule again. So I guess today, before we leave, I'm going to end with a little bit. We have 2 new people, and then quick. Thank you, Bill. We have Donna. Hi, Anne-Marie. I am not working right now. Do you see anything coming up for me in the next few months? Thanks so much. All right, Donna. So if I look at that, what comes up in 2 months, I'll do yes or no, and then how you can change that. So we're looking at, I'm going to surprise you with this, but if you're not looking, I'll tell you what it is. A right side up card is yes. An upside down card is no. So for March, I have a right side up card, but it shows the Tower, which means that you're getting at the point or you're going crazy. And you need to get out there and work, no matter what it is, just so you feel like you can get your act together. I also see yes for April. So I'm going to say March and April show you employed. And not only that, March says get yourself out there, Donna. Take what you can or you're going to go bonkers. And that's what I see. Okay, I have Gail, and she says, can I get an angel reading on what they see for my spiritual path? Anything anything they can share with me. All right. If I look at what comes up for you, Gail, and I'm going to say your name since you're not on the phone, I'll have to say it myself, Gail. And Gail. And Gail. Here are seen your gifts and blessings, Gail. The first one is magnetism. You attract and magnetize to yourself the things that you want in life. The second thing that comes through is you're very believable. And you also believe that if you invest in somebody or even in a money situation, you know that you're going to get back what you put into it. You're very trusting and you're very believable. The third gift I have is how generous you are. For you, positive things like money and being generous to others is very easy. The fourth I see is you're very intuitive. Your intuition will guide you to the people, the places and jobs that you enjoy in 2019. And the fifth thing that I see is you are very powerful, Miss Gail. You recognize and appreciate the things that inspire you to feel confident. And so I feel that with your qualities and your blessings and gifts of your magnetic personality, you're believable, you're generous, you're intuitive, and you're very powerful. And those things are seen as vehicles to be able to get what you want in 2019. Susan from Massachusetts says, the time change threw me off. I just tuned in. Well, hello, Susan, and thank you. I imagine it's really kind of a startling thing for everybody. Gail, I'm going to do a quickie on you for what your card comes up for your life path symbol. And I'm going to do Gail and Gail. And this is what comes through, Gail. Your life path card is the arrow. Now, we all know that when arrows are shot off from a bow, they go to their land, they go to where they're, the direction that they are being led to, hopefully, if you're a good shot. So I'm going to look at what symbolically that means for you. Excuse me. Okay. Boys and girls, the arrow. Receiving this arrow reminds you that when you are in alignment with your heart and soul, you are on target and will soon be hitting your mark. Be true to your calling, Gail. And remember, be free of your bondage of unbridled ambition. So, yes, you're ambitious, but don't let blind ambition take you off track. Now is revealed to be a moment of contact in which your intention meets the material world. The arrow also symbolizes the need to set your creativity free. When the arrow zings through the air, Gail, it is inviting you to pay attention and signifying that in 2019 you are about to make your mark in some aspect of your life. So I see that as a very good thing. Well, next week I will be on my own. And girls, I want you to know that I am going to be discussing why men love bitches. Now, I don't mean to say that, and I've got the book right here, Why Men Love Bitches. Please know that this is not about becoming a mean woman, okay? So come by next week and we'll discuss it. Bye.
Hi, I'm Anne Marie. Welcome to Achieve Holistic, Spiritual, and Self-Improvement Psychic Radio. Here's the tip. Pull back your shoulders, lift up your rib cage, and tuck in your butt. Aligning your chakras will help you to absorb a more positive state of mind, be able to show a more confident nature, which brings back smiles and more opportunities in a positive way in your life. Nicknamed the Velvet Hammer for my direct honesty